St. Joseph's Boys High School, I take immense pleasure in welcoming you all to this webinar on peace, reconciliation and harmony. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding, says Albert Einstein. It is the need of the hour to restore peace and harmony through reconciliation with ourselves and others. I request Miss Alice to lead us to God through prayer.
Dear God, help us to reconcile with one another and bring healing to strained and broken relationships. Set us free from all restlessness and anxiety. Give us your peace and power so that we may abide in you in all perplexity and distress. Guide us with your wisdom so that we may become channels of peace and harmony. O God, we ask you to save us from prejudice, arrogance, fear, and teach us how to live together as members of one family, sharing one hope, and as children of one God. Amen.
Peace, reconciliation and harmony are needed for humanity. I am sure we all agree that given the current state of the world, it is time we focus on peace instead of anger and reconciliation instead of division. A life of inner peace and outward harmony is one we all wish to achieve. The tools for such an existence are given in our scriptures, but living them out in everyday life is not easy. I pray that each one of us finds it in ourselves every day to reach out with compassion and love to one another, to make time for reconciliation and spread the gospel of peace around us. Mother Teresa once said, "The fruit of silence is prayer. The fruit of prayer is faith. The fruit of faith is love. The fruit of love is service. And the fruit of service is peace." May we all be persons of peace, reconciliation and harmony.
I feel honored to introduce the speakers for today. Dr. Rajaram began his teaching career as a lecturer in English at St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science in 1987. In 2002, he moved to St. Joseph's College of Commerce, where currently he is professor and head of the department.
When thinking about these very crucial concepts like peace, reconciliation and harmony, and how we can activate ancient Hindu wisdom in the service of these three fundamental values, for me, three shlokas come to my mind. The first one of it is Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, which asks for inclusive happiness, which involves everyone, with the complete wisdom that exclusive happiness does not make sense or is not viable in the long run. The second interesting utterance that ancient wisdom gives us is the inherent plurality of Indian society at the level of languages. And the utterance is this: Sarva Bhashamayi Saraswati. All languages are the privileged in the same source as Goddess Saraswati, and linguistic superiority or inferiority is an illusion. Okay, and that, when practiced, can solve border disputes, linguistic hassles, and avoidable animosities. And the last one that I would like to talk about is how you can deploy this utterance, Sahana Bhavatu, Savano Punaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavai, which means let us all sit together, let us all eat together, and let us all work together. This collectiveness, this collectivity is what will create these values of peace, reconciliation, and harmony. Thank you so much.
Professor Mohammad Bilal Umri has 11 years of teaching experience in Islamic research and studies. He currently works with Hikmah International School and Grandeur International School.
Hey, this is Mohammad Bilal Umri and a very good morning to all of you. So before I begin, I would like to thank the management of the St. Joseph High School for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much. So dear friends, we are here to discuss about peace and harmony, for which I have a very beautiful verse from the Quran, which says, a good word is like a beautiful tree, which has its root deeply enrooted and its branches are widely spread in the sky. It fruits across all the seasons, and thus the Lord gives you such example to remember Him. So dear friends, we live in a world where we have a lot of differences. We have different types of people, different religion, different nationality, different languages, but one thing that's in common is humanity. So today I have two most beautiful yet very important aspects that will change your mind. So let's begin. Number one is your smile. Basic of all is something that comes for free. It's priceless. When you have your smile in your face for someone, that will make their day. The second aspect is positive speech. This is something very important we must have today, because you are known by your own speech. Your speech can either make someone or even break someone. So when you speak, pick your words carefully. You name any peace promoter in the world, they are famous only because of their positive speech, because they have a great responsibility to build positivity around the world. It could be Mother Teresa, it could be Mahatma Gandhi, it could be Malala Yusuf, or any other personality. You would find their speech very positive. As one of the most beautiful quote by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said, a man who is afraid of God must speak good or remain silent. So what's stopping us from peace? It's just the action that we need to do, my dear friends. A small step today may bring a huge difference in the world tomorrow. It's all in our hand. So whether you think you can or you can't, you are always right, because the choice is yours. So think and choose carefully. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Reverend Father Royal Nazareth is a Holy Cross priest who is the director of the Holy Cross Family Ministries and Hope Counseling Center at the Museum Road. Father has done MSc in Counseling Psychology and MA in English Literature.
Hello friends. Peace, harmony and reconciliation are not merely three different words or concepts. These three are the realities of our human existence, and these three are very much interconnected. Peace leads to harmony, harmony brings about reconciliation, and reconciliation in turn generates peace. And therefore one can say that this PHR is to the soul or the spirit of a person what the DNA is to the body. There is a beautiful Christian devotional, no one can live as an island. In Greek mythology there is this story wherein the different parts of the body once had a meeting, had a conference, and they were discussing that each part of the body were doing a unique role except for the stomach. The hands, for example, felt that it is engaged in so many activities during the day. The legs said, I walk so many steps to move the person from one place to the other. The eyes said, I need to capture so many visuals. The mouth said, I need to munch food. But the stomach, so lousy, so lazy, nourishing and relishing on our hard work. And therefore we need to teach the stomach a lesson. So in that conference they decided that they are going on a protest. They decided a date. The next day was to be a day of protest. And so the day began. The sun rose, but the legs refused to move out of the bed. The hands refused to take the bedsheet out of one's cover. The eyes refused to open their eyes and see the brightness of the day. And as the day progressed, as the clock was ticking, by about 7-8 o'clock in the morning, there was a feeling of butterfly in the stomach because the stomach had not received any food. But the members were very adamant in their protest. They said, nothing doing, let the protest go on. By about noon, the butterflies were turned into little rats in the stomach. There was more pinching happening in the stomach. But the members were adamant. They said, nothing doing, no giving up. Protest must continue. By about 3-4 in the afternoon, it was more than the little rats running around in the stomach. It was as though the big crabs biting in the stomach. But still, they wanted to carry on with the protest. But by about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening, the body could stand no longer. The hands just threw away the blanket. The legs took the person towards the fridge, and the person grabbed whatever was there in the fridge and put it in the stomach. And at that point, every member of the body realized that how interdependent they are for their own existence and survival. Human species, we are most advanced of all the species, and yet we are dependent on other human beings not only for our survival but also for our thriving. We are dependent on our family, our community, our society, our country and a larger population. Because this universe is our common inhabitat, we are dependent being and we cannot live in isolation. And that is why the point is that we cannot always be self-centered, but we also need to cultivate a sense for the other. And that is what Jesus also taught us. Before he went or ascended into heaven after his resurrection, he made this prayer, Father, that they all may be one. He prayed for the unity, because in unity there is strength, there is progress. When one human being is connected to the other in genuine love, peace and harmony and reconciliation, there is progress, there is growth, there is a movement towards what we are called to be. And therefore, dear brothers and sisters, living in the world, let us be in tune with the qualitative presence of the Spirit within us that calls for a universal brotherhood, a common heritage of our earth. And I wish every one of you to partake in this journey towards that vision wherein all of us belong to one family of the common earth in bringing about peace, harmony and reconciliation to our world. Thank you.
People all over the world
understand and love each other. We have one life to live, so much to give and so much to share. There is love to be found, just look around, there's happiness there. We are the same, just different colors. People all over the world, love without shame, like sisters and brothers. Face each day with a smile, and in a while, sunshine appears. You feel warm deep inside. Reach out your hand.
I request our Vice Principal, Mr. Uday Kumar, to say a few words.
Dear students and parents, the word peace can be spelled in two ways: peace and peace. Though the meaning of the two words is vastly different, strangely they are connected. If our health or finances or mental state is in many pieces, P-I-E-C-E-S, we cannot be at peace, P-E-A-C-E. Today we focus on the word peace, P-E-A-C-E, in the context of being in a calm mental state, shorn of worries and with an inner equilibrium. In the last 1 year, peace has been very elusive. In living memory, we do not know of a time when the whole world has been plunged into so much turmoil ever before. The pandemic has also taught us the meaning of the word harmony. As our lives were moving at high speed, we were brought to a sudden halt. During the lockdown, we learned about living in harmony with nature, trying to harmonize our lives within the family, and trying to maintain peace and harmony at a time of great uncertainty. The pandemic forced us to look inward, and despite the severe losses brought on by the pandemic, each of us discovered something positive during this time. All our religions speak of an inner journey to discover peace. This peace, we are told, comes only when we are in harmony with nature and our fellow living beings. Today, through this webinar, let us focus on the many facets of this abstract feeling which is so vital for our well-being. I wish each of you a peaceful and harmonious evening and a fruitful session which enriches your learning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words. We can indeed experience inner peace and spread it to others through yoga. I request Ms. Rebecca Thomas to speak on the benefits of yoga.
If the body, mind and soul is healthy, harmonious and peaceful, we can then spread this around society, the nation and the global body of humanity. We have to consciously develop healthy eating habits and incorporate exercise in our day-to-day lives. There is a need for moral, ethical and cultural refinement of the individual personality on a worldwide scale. The age-old philosophy of yoga, which is the science of right living, a balanced life, works on all aspects of the person, the physical, vital, mental, emotional and spiritual. This practice begins to act on our outermost sphere of the personality, the physical body, which for most of us is a practical and familiar starting point. It then moves to the mental and emotional level. Teenagers and adolescents who face stresses like peer pressure, distractions and temptations, to name a few, must be encouraged and motivated to take up this practice for a strong control over the mind and body. Physical and mental therapy is one of the most important achievements of yoga. It has succeeded as an alternative form of therapy for a number of diseases like asthma, diabetes, arthritis, blood pressure, etc. Yoga cannot provide a cure for life, but it does present a proven method of coping with it. This ancient practice of ours is an integration and harmony between thought, word and deed, head, heart and hand. Join me in breath counting meditation, which can be practiced after asana and pranayama. Close your eyes. Feel the cool air as you inhale and the warm air as you exhale. Count 1 in your mind. Continue counting every time you exhale. If at any time your mind wanders, bring it back to that count. Start small, say 5 or 10 counts, and increase it gradually. Slowly open your eyes.
Thank you, ma'am. I request Ms. Reshmi to propose the vote of thanks.
The beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt by the heart. Thank you is one such prayer. The wonderful hour we just spent together has been enriching and very enjoyable and was made possible by several people, and I'm honored to be granted the privilege to express our gratitude. I thank God Almighty for all the grace He has showered upon us. The transformation of the world, our community, begins with the transformation and self-actualization of the self, and I thank our dignitaries, Father Royal Nazareth, Professor Muhammad Bilal Umri and Dr. Raja Ram for their profound thoughts that they have shared with us. I would also like to thank our beloved Father Principal, Father Sunil Fernandez, our primary administrator, Father Joel Fernandez, and our Vice Principal, Mr. Uday Kumar, who are our driving forces, our pillars from where we receive all the necessary support and encouragement. Teamwork divides the task and multiplies the success for any occasion. And we've had a fantastic team behind this. I would like to thank each and every one of the teachers for putting together this event. I would also like to thank Mr. Mario, our resident wizard, for putting together our efforts and showcasing it in the best light. I would also like to thank Mr. Rajesh for his excellent videography skills and all the teachers who have conceptualized this program. I would also like to take a moment to thank our staff, both teaching and non-teaching, for their support and encouragement. Last but not the least, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to our students and our parents for being with us in this momentous journey. Let us all be instruments of peace. Thank you all. God bless us.